Janis Joplin has soul. She sounds like a black woman when she sings. So Janis Lynn Joplin was considered unattractive, that it turned her into a sad, sensitive soul, especially when bullied, since she wanted to be loved. Just like Janis, Amy Winehouse drank herself to death since she felt lonely. She wanted to be loved just like Janis. Also, Amy felt in despair when feeling unloved. During her time, Janis was not considered pretty, which caused her to have low self-esteem. She was bullied as a child due to her looks and being different. Growing up, she was slightly overweight, plus problems with acne. Boy, don't we know about acne. As a teenager, you have to go through having pizza toppings all over your face. Gross. That it left her with an incredibly negative view of herself. The bullying continued all the way until her first year of college at the University of Texas in Austin. She was voted as ugliest man on campus. It hurt Janis deeply and she never forgot about it. Why would she? If anyone gets voted as ugliest person ever, especially for a woman being voted as ugliest man on campus, that will always hurt that person. She dropped out of college and left Texas for San Francisco to escape the angry men who liked to pick on her. Now, Janis didn't win, but a guy named Lonnie the Hunch Farrell won the contest. First of all, why was Janis nominated as ugliest man on campus when she was a woman? A woman, not a man. Did people think she looked like a man, like a little mannish, homely looking? Either way, that was wrong, especially the guy who won the contest. Second, whose bright idea was it with the whole ugliest man on campus? I know it was to raise charity for money, man, but they could have come up with something else that didn't involve someone's looks. She attended her 10-year high school reunion. She asked Dick Cavett if he could come to her reunion. I wished he did. Janis would have felt a lot better if Dick Cavett went with her.
Would you like to go, Ian?
Well, I don't remember. I don't have that many friends in your high school class.
I don't either.
Or mine, for that matter.
I don't either, believe me.
You don't either? Do you think you'll have a lot to say to your old high school classmates?
I'm going to laugh a lot.
Were you not surrounded by friends in high school?
They laughed me out of class, out of town, and out of the state. So I'm going home.
Some of her classmates asked for her autograph. Others insisted that they have always liked her. Oh, whatever. Those are the same mofos that called her a pig and a whore. This is obviously why she relied on heroin and died of a heroin overdose due to the pain she was dealing with. Not to mention her love for that Southern Comfort whiskey. Now, Janis may not have been the most drop-dead gorgeous woman, not even supermodel pretty, especially since she didn't rely on wearing makeup or anything. But I wouldn't say she was ugly like the people did in her time, or some now thought she was ugly. Like, I remember watching this 127 Club morph video of the 6 most popular Maine musicians, part of the 27 Club. And I remember somebody put on a comment saying that Janis was ugly as AF. You know what AF means, obviously. And then talking about she looked like she stank or sweat a lot. I'm like, these people have no respect at all for Janis Joplin. Why are you judging this woman on her looks? My goodness. I mean, if you look closely and dig deeper, you could say she has somewhat of a baby face.
You ever get back to Port Arthur, Texas?
No, but I'm going back next in August, man. I guess what I'm doing.
I don't know. Night
I'm going
clubbing
to my
there?
10th annual high school reunion.
I like the way she talks, so soothing and soft. And I like the way she said, no, but I go back in August, man. I like that. And how about her laugh?
May I light your fire, my child? Who else? There's Mama Cass, maybe, and Gracie Slick. She's giggling, isn't she? What else really gives you pleasure? Do you snorkel? Do you snorkel?
No.
That's the best thing I've ever done. Not being able to get up and sing. I snorkel. Could I teach you to snorkel sometime?
Later.
I wasn't going to do it here. No one snorkels publicly that I know of.
She has a nice smile, too. Can you say that this woman was ugly? Look at that face. Look at that smile. Can you still say that this woman was ugly? You know I gotta play that one song from the Amazing World of Gumball episode. And it sucks that she had insecurity problems. Well, not just her. It seems like the musicians that died that are now part of 27 Club, it seems like most of them had insecure problems. Brian Jones of the Rolling Stones, he was insecure. Amy Winehouse. I mean, it's bad enough people were dogging Amy on her looks and her beehive hairdo. And now we can see there's a reason why she had alcohol problems and did some drugs to ease the pain. It's bad enough she was already insecure. You guys didn't make it any better. Matter of fact, this is what Amy said. I'm quite an insecure person. I'm very insecure about the way I look. I mean, I'm a musician. I'm not a model. The more insecure I felt, the more I drink. And to Tracy Trash, who does my hair, I'd be like, bigger, bigger. Like the more insecure I feel, the bigger my hair has to be. Well, there you go. Amy was very insecure. Now, I don't know if Jimi Hendrix or Jim Morrison were insecure, but they probably weren't. Jim Morrison looked like he wasn't very insecure about his looks, so. But yes, even Kurt Cobain was an insecure person. I heard Kurt said he thought he was ugly. And I'm sure you like Nirvana fans or Nirvana fangirls probably like, Kurt thought he was ugly? Kurt wasn't ugly. He was gorgeous and, you know, all that. Apparently, unfortunately, the guy thought he was unattractive. I mean, that's the same with Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was insecure. He thought he was an unattractive person, especially since it didn't help that his late father, Joe Jackson, constantly got on him about how big his nose was. I'm like, who does that? And I know some Michael Jackson fangirls. I'm talking about the real fangirls, not the fangirls who act like they loved him after he passed away, but when he was alive, they dogged him, talking about he looked like a ghost or whatever. I'm talking about the real fangirls that actually didn't think he was ugly. I'm sure you like, Michael thought he was ugly? He wasn't ugly. Well, like I said, apparently he thought he was ugly. He was very insecure. Same with Kurt Cobain. I mean, Kurt Cobain wasn't a bad looking guy. I mean, what girl doesn't dig a blue-eyed, long blonde haired guy like Kurt Cobain? And I know there are other musicians in the 27 Club. Robert Johnson, the blues singer and songwriter. I know about him. But when it comes to the 27 Club, you think of the six main popular, well-known ones when it comes to your mind when you think of the 27 Club. It seems like when you think of the 27 Club, you instantly think of Brian Jones, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, Kurt Cobain, and Amy Winehouse. Just right there in a snap. We talking about these six main people who went through a lot of pain where they had to rely on drugs and alcohol to ease the pain. It's like Kurt wanted to be a part of the 27 Club. It's like he wanted to join the 27 Club with Brian Jones, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, and Jim Morrison. I mean, he obviously told his mom, Wendy O'Connor Cobain, about the 27 Club because after he passed away, his mom said, well, he's went off to join that stupid club. I told him not to join that stupid club. I told him not to join, but he didn't listen. He did it anyways. She was pretty upset about that. Amy had a feeling that she was going to join the 27 Club. And unfortunately, some people knew that Amy Winehouse was not going to survive. Of course, now she's part of the 27 Club, but even Amy knew that she wasn't going to survive, and she felt like she was going to join the 27 Club. And I bet Amy was looking at Brian Jones, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, Kurt Cobain. She's looking at these people, and she knows that they've gone through a lot of pain and suffering like she did. But you know what's cool? Brian Jones, Jimi Hendrix actually met each other before they passed away. Check out these pictures of these two. I heard Brian Jones and Jimi Hendrix, they met at a pop festival. I think it was like 1967. I think Janis was there too. But here's Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin in the same photo together. Like, that's dope, seeing Jimmy and Janis together in the same picture. I'm bugging. Jim Morrison found Janis attractive once they met at a party and got drunk. Well, you know, until things went south due to Morrison being so drunk, it turned off Janis. When leaving, Jim followed her. She told him to F off. Then he pulled her hair until she used the Southern Comfort to hit him over the head, leaving him out cold. Then there were rumors about Janis and Jimi Hendrix being romantic lovers, which were false. But I heard that Jimmy and Janis became friends. So that's cool that they were friends. Very eerie and ironic that they both died in the same year in 1970, and they died 2 weeks apart from each other. That was just weird. Jimi Hendrix died September 18, 1970. Janis Joplin died October 4th of the same year. Also, I found out at JanisJoplin.net, Janis, I guess, was friends with John Lennon and Yoko, from what I've heard. It's on YouTube. She has a tape cassette where she wishes John Lennon a happy birthday. I think it was for his 30th birthday. Yeah. And her, somebody named Donovan and Blossom and Ringo and George, they all came together to say happy birthday. Her singing happy birthday was pretty dope. But the sad part is, 5 days after Janis's death, John Lennon got the tape on his 30th birthday, October 9th. So he got it after she died, which pretty much bummed John Lennon. It made John Lennon think that, he could be gone just like that. And of course, unfortunately, 10 years later, he died due to fat Mark Chapman's ass. It's pretty cool that Brian Jones, Jimi Hendrix, and Janis Joplin and Jim Morrison, they met each other before they, passed away. I also heard Jimi Hendrix did a tribute to Brian Jones when he passed away. And Jim Morrison wrote a poem to Brian Jones. But anyways, this has been my video. I hope you enjoyed. Tell me your thoughts about Janis Joplin being voted as the ugliest man on campus. And what do you guys think? Do you think Janis was unattractive? Or do you think that she was attractive in her own way?